And give it up for your next comic, Giuseppe De Fazio! Give it back to your host. I don't like my job. I'm a cop, and the reason why I don't like being a cop is because my friends and family always ask me cop questions. Like, I had someone the other day ask me, hey, how do I beat a speeding ticket? How do I pass a DUI test? How do I wipe fingerprints off of this gun? And I'm just like, Mom, what are you doing? But I've been learning a lot about my mother. I learned that she's been lying to me ever since I was a kid. She would tell me things like, don't drink coffee, it'll stunt your growth. Don't jump in a pool after you eat or you'll drown. This is your father. But to put you guys up to speed about my family, right? My mother is from the Bronx, so she's loud. Thank you. And my dad is from Ohio, so he hates himself. And he picks favorites, and I think it's my brother. He calls, he visits. He didn't get caught up in a pyramid scheme after high school, but there's a part of me that believes I am his favorite because my name is so unique compared to my siblings. When people find out that I have siblings, they're always like, oh my God, it must be like Leonardo or Donatello or Mario and Luigi. Not quite. The way it goes, right? It goes Laura, Steve, and then there's me, Giuseppe Santo De Fazio. And I don't know if you guys could pick up on it, but my dad was this close to having Family Matters, because all he had to do was name me Eddie, because then it would have gone Laura, Steve, Eddie, and you just keep going with it. Harriet, Carl, Urkel. But I confronted him about it. I was like, Dad, why'd you name me Giuseppe? He was like, well, son, it's because I want you to get bitches. And I was like, Giuseppe, bitches. Shit ain't working, Dad. Turns out they want something called a personality. But if that's the case, why name Steve Steve? Oh, well, I want him to have a good job. I'm like, priorities. Here's one son, successful career, savings account, premium Costco membership card, and then me, 4 STDs, a drawer full of Plan B, and a large, robust family. If anything, he made my life a lot harder. For example, I went to the doctor the other day. The way my doctor works is you go in, you sit down, they'll call you up by your name. And I do that. I'm sitting down, and this woman comes out. Is there a Japupe in here? Japupe? And I'm thinking to myself, man, Japupe, that's a weird-ass name. I wouldn't want to answer that shit either. Japupe, G-I-U-S. I'm like, oh shit, I'm Japupe. I get up, look around the room, and realize I'm the only motherfucker in here. I was just that sure my name was not Japupe. So I approached this woman, and I realized she's an old, frail woman. She's doing the Harlem Shake to the waiting room music. And I'm thinking, who's getting down to this shit? Turns out she has Parkinson's, so I'm the bad person. She goes, Lord, I didn't even want to try your last name. How'd I do with the first? Not even close, ma'am. Oh, dear. Well, how do you say it? Giuseppe. Simple as that. Japepe? I got an uncle. Oh, I am an uncle. Oh, my goodness. I have a nephew, right? And I'm proud of him because I just put him on to Dragon Ball Z, and he loves it, thanks. He loves it. Last time I was with him, we did a marathon, right? And I remember I was walking around the home after, and I hear him behind a closed door and going, Ka-me-ha-me-ha. And I'm standing by this door smiling about it, because it's nostalgia to me. I don't know if anyone can relate, but I remember when I was his age, I tried to do Kamea waves. I tried to go Super Saiyan. So I'm smiling about this, and then I hear a toilet flush, and this kid came out sweating. And I'm just like, yo, did you just poop to a Kamea wave? He's like, yeah, I did. And I was like, let me try that shit. Bah! Look, my nephew put me onto the best way to shit. Because all I do now is special beam cannons and Gallic guns. And like on my bucket list now, I want to go into like a Buc-ee's, that huge bathroom, and just drop a spirit bomb in that bitch. Like I just want to be on the stall and be like, yo, I need your energy right now. Ah! I'm trying to find new friends too. It's a good transition. Solely because they kicked me off their streaming services and I refuse to pay for Netflix. And I'll be the first one to admit, it's been hard. It's hard going from Netflix and chill to Tubi and Do Me. But I remember someone gave me their HBO account and I treated that HBO as if it was my own because I gave that motherfucker out to everyone for no reason. Like it could be anything like, wow, thanks for lunch. You have HBO? Wow. This is such a beautiful home. You have HBO? Wow. Thanks for doing that hot tool and spitting on that thing. You have HBO? So I live in Fayetteville, and I don't know why you would cheer to that shit. So I live in Fayetteville, so I come up here often. I've learned from people and the internet, apparently, that Raleigh is considered the #1 place to raise a family. And to be honest, I didn't need anyone to tell me that. I already knew. You can always tell how good an area is by its community. And I have never seen so many white people just run for fun. Like, you guys love to frolic here. Like, I don't get it. And what's crazy to me is that there's a prison down the street, Central Prison, and it's some of y'all's run routes. So while you're doing laps, flaunting your freedom, there's just some dude peeking over, doing life, hoping that he gets on parole just so he could join. Raleigh's white people reminds me of Fayetteville's crackheads. Because of how frequent you guys are in the streets, and it confuses me all the time because I don't know whether I'm gonna hit a crackhead or a gender studies major up here. But I remember when I was in college, I had a lot of different jobs, right? I did construction, I worked in a factory, I was even a housekeeper for a short period of time. And you know, now that I say it, I get why everyone back home thought I was Mexican. But one job I remember in particular, I was a runway model. Like I was like on some Tyra Banks shit until I got fired after 2 days because I clearly was not America's Next Top Model. And I was working on campus, right? And the college came up to me and they're like, so Japoopy, we need an Indian guy for this fashion show we're having to do. And I'm just like, cool, man. I hope you find that guy. Why are you all looking at me like that? So, speed it up a little bit. I'm now dressed as this Temu version of Aladdin that can't even afford 3 wishes, and the only wish I have is to not get randomly selected at TSA. And they decide to bring this model to show us how to do it. And I'll tell you, this model was top dollar, because this dude looked like he had a membership at Sephora. And he taught us something called a smize. And what a smize is when you smile with just your eyes. And that's why runway models have this stern, cold face, kind of like when an old person judges TikTokers, or like when Joe Biden has to answer a simple question. And when I'm nervous, I smile a lot. So this is how it went. Dude immediately came out, yo, that's not how you do it. You need to look like you're making love to the audience. And I was like, okay, cool. I think I get that shit. So this is how it went. I'm gonna end it on this, guys. I met the nicest racist the other day. I was in line getting my cup of coffee, right? And this woman comes up to me and she's like, oh my God, I found one of you. And I'm thinking, found me? Bitch, who are you, Sally Mae? Get the fuck away from me. It must be so hard being from the Middle East in this day and age. And I'm like, the Middle East of Georgia? I'm from North Georgia. What are you talking about? It must be so hard being Palestinian with everything going on in Gaza. Look, some of y'all white people are bold as shit. And my favorite thing to do with racist white people is to tell them I'm white because they lose their damn minds to it. So I'm getting ready to drop this bomb on her, but she interjects me. She goes, well, I can't do much for you, but I can at least buy you your meal. Look, I may be Italian, but I was poor first, and I am not gonna turn down a free meal, even if it's a racist meal. So I look at this woman, and I go, Inshallah. That's my time, guys. Get back to your off.
Give it up for Giuseppe De Fazio, everybody.